What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again, and we are here for a live stream, kind of. This is a pre-recorded live stream that we're going to be uploading to the channel for channel members to start, and then maybe for everyone else after that, there'll be a bunch of clips. But of course, we have the Feet Gang here, the Feet Crew, the Feet Clan, and I mean, you guys, you guys are cool with that label, right? I mean,
well, first of all, I know we talked about feet many years ago, but
yeah,
I would have never thought that someone would come up with the idea of uploading feet pics on a website and making money off of it.
Dude, you should have known. That probably already existed at the time.
You should have trademarked
Feet Finder. I should have, yeah. Well, let's just say I'm broke because of that. That's why I'm not.
Oh yeah, well, no doubt. I mean, I'm sure
why
you're the number one
collecting.
That's why I stopped collecting. Now I'm just collecting.
TJ sold a bunch of shit so he could afford his OnlyFans addiction.
Oh my gosh, that's feetfinder.com. Unbelievable.
Dude, what is the website?
Feetfinder.com.
Is that
not
exist?
that I know. I just hear from a lot of people.
That exists, TJ. Are you sure?
It does. Yeah, it does exist.
Wow.
I checked it out.
Optical's looking for it.
It is
not
real.
Is it real, Optical?
It is real. It is real.
I'm afraid to search it. I don't want to share it on screen because I don't know what I'm going to find.
Yeah. So actually, if you have nice feet and you could upload it and make some money off of it.
I don't think my feet are nice enough. Unfortunately.
So
I do try to cut them regularly, but that's about it. Cut the toenails, dude. But yeah, man. But anyway, guys, so happy to have the Feet Gang back together. Optical, how you doing, man? This I guess it's a Sunday evening. How you doing, man?
hey, man, feeling good. I just learned a new way to make money. So
you. You did,
thank you, PJ.
Dude, who needs channel memberships when you have Feet Finder?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to upload regularly then.
You're going to upload regularly just to a different website. That's different. But yeah, man, happy to have you here, and it should be pretty exciting. PJ, dude,
yes.
Paradox there, bro. dude, we ain't been on the stream in like, I don't know how long. It's been a while.
I know, it's been a while, man. And honestly, like I said, a lot of things have changed, including the like the feet, world.
Yeah, the feet world the feet landscape has changed.
Someone heard my prayers and decided to make a website out of it. And yeah, like I said, I'm broke now. I collect less hot toys and more feet pics.
Dude, honestly, those are exclusive. So
oh yeah,
they're probably more exclusive than hot toys. So
listen, when they have like hair under the top of their toes, the better.
Okay, so
there's like 4 or 5 hairs on top of
it's a hobbit. That's like Frodo, dude. That's FrodoFeet.com. That's different.
Listen, I pay extra if there's hair in between the toes.
Oh, okay. So that's
an exclusive edition.
Yeah, that's definitely that's an extra
sideshow exclusive. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad that the trio's back for this live stream. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks you guys both for joining. And we'll probably do more live streams, of course, on this channel, Optical's, PJ's channel, whoever wants to do it. Happy to be there and we'll make it happen. But guys, we got to jump into our first topic of this fine evening or morning, whenever you're watching it. I want to ask the question though. So guys, I ran a poll. I don't know if you got to see this on my channel, right? I ran a couple different polls, but I did ask the people, I asked the collectors out there, how many 1/6 scale figures is ideal for your collection? And originally this banner was right. I had 43%. It's now changed to 42%, but still close enough, right? How many 1/6 scale figures is the ideal amount for your collection? 25 to 50 figures is the winner here at 42%, less than 10 figures, 17%, 50 to 80 figures, which is a lot of figures, 16%, 90 to 125 figures, 8%, 125 plus figures at 17%. So that was tied for second place, 125 plus. It's a lot of figures. Optical, got to start with you first on this one, dude. What does this tell you? Because 42% of collectors seem to be pretty moderate with their collecting habits. That's probably about where I'm at. I think I have like 45, 47, something like that. And I can have about 50 figures. So I'm like right in that ballpark. Optical, you're a little bit higher though, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm probably in the 125 plus.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Dude.
Wait, what?
He is, bro. He has a lot.
Dude,
you know what? Dude, I'm telling you, the Asmus deal that came through recently, I think that's what put you over the 100 mark.
The Hobbit itself is 4. I got 4 Hobbits. So.
And Star Ace. Oh,
Star
man.
Ace,
it's all Star Ace. Yeah, that's true.
Star Ace.
Yeah, it's all Star Ace and Asmus.
Man, okay, so let's analyze this. What is modest? When has 50 been modest?
Dude, 50 is modest in our game, bro. You know
God
this.
Yeah.
damn, I
50 is
thought 50
modest.
was a lot. Like
Well, because
Yeah.
each figure, say each figure is minimum $200. That's what, 10 grand? So more than that, right?
that's not modest, dude.
Damn.
Well, think
But-
about 125,
Damn,
bro.
Okay, let's put it
Yeah.
this way, right? In a big
Uh-huh.
scope, you do YouTube, so it
Yeah.
makes sense for you to have 50. If I don't do YouTube, maybe I'll have, I don't know,
Damn.
20,
Dude.
25, maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know. But 25 to 50. Okay, let's focus on that number because 125 is second place. So
Mhm.
that's what it tells you is that there's a lot of addicted people right there. I don't know why Sideshow is having a hard time moving stock.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused about these numbers, but
Mhm.
25 to 50, I guess that's the sweet spot if we are talking about. I think that is where you have enough, but you can still display them.
I love how you're like, that's not modest.
but let's be honest, 50 is not modest, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
50
20 is modest, right? Like 20
Yeah,
is
20
modest.
is modest, probably.
10, because if you do 10, right, like the first one, less than 10, if one per DTOF, one, and that's can we say that the ideal, not everyone's going to buy module case.
Right.
If you say you got a DTOF and the ideal display is maximum of 2, can we all agree on that? Maximum of 2 figures
Yeah.
in one cab.
Right.
Because
That
if you
makes
do
sense, yeah.
3 is kind of like pushing it. You do 4, it's kind of crowded, So if we put 2, so the entire row you got 8. So you got 1 DTOF. I guess you get 2. That's modest. You get 2 DTOFs, 2 each. So you get 16. You get 50. God damn, how many DTOFs is that?
Yeah, we got to factor in the display cases
Yeah.
too. And DTOFs are now like $120. So they're
Yeah, so
pricey now.
120. So I guess 25 figures, that's still like 4 or 5 DTOFs. And that's a big chunk of your basement or your living room or whatever. So I guess like I would say 25 to 50. So that tells me that people still likes to buy 1.6, and there's like a huge fucking market for it. And people are willing to spend, So I'm happy. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm at the 125. So
Well, it also tells you too, Optical. Think about it this way. Like if they have 25 to 50 figures and Hot Toys has released this year, like 45 figures, somewhere around there. So, people are going to have to be trading in and out, which maybe could explain why the market is so shitty. Because for one, it's oversaturated. And then also people like myself sometimes trading in and out, and you have to sell for less. And then everything goes down. And then you're buying for, maybe you're pre-ordering or buying for new. So you're losing money each time you do that.
Yeah.
So that's another, maybe I think it's overproduction too, simply put, but
Yeah.
I don't know. PJ, what do you think, bro? I mean, what does this tell you, this number here?
Like what Optical said, we are addicted to 1.6, man. First of all, like I did the math. So 125 figures times like a minimum, like say average Hot Toy figures 200. That equates to like $25,000. Like, oh my gosh, like that is an insane amount of money. I think I was at that point when I was like really actively collecting a lot of Hot Toys. I was close to it, like at least like 120. I obviously, in the past year and a half, I kind of like sold a lot of figures and sold it for like, more money to buy like statues and stuff. But honestly though, I'm in like the 25 to 50 range right now. I still have a lot of figures that I'm still going to probably sell. I'm just kind of like gauging the market to see if it's the right time to sell it. Just because, you don't want to lose too much money on selling like a Lando. I
Dude,
mean,
you totally will.
oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Like this is why we can't have nice things because, Hot Toys the collectors have always been asking for Lando, and then they finally give us a Lando, and it's not even sold out. Even the Captain Rex, I think it's still available.
Yeah.
It's just that, yeah, I just think that Hot Toys is going even harder with producing a lot of figures, like every single time. Like, my gosh, I wish I was still kind of live streaming or doing content because Well, I know Optical is having a field day with all those
with all the
previews.
previews.
All the preview videos. I mean, back then it was just like,
Yeah.
oh man, but now it's just like, dude, like every week there's at least 2 or 3 new announcements or new releases. No, dude, it's getting kind of like out of hand now, and I'm not sure how this is gonna play out in the future, but man, I mean, 125 figures, that's a lot, but man, they're still producing more, and it's like there's more shows that's being made, and there's going to be more figures. I mean, God knows like how many figures Hot Toys is going to pump out when Spider-Man 2 comes out, the game. I mean, how many figures did we get from the first game, right?
Right.
So now you got, I don't know. It's just a crazy market right now, and I'm wondering how the future will look. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm in the 25 to 50 mark.
Because PJ, look, so this, yeah, I've been keeping track of this year, right? So we have about 44 releases thus far this year. Maybe even more than that, because the Trooper, maybe 45. I got to count. I think there were 2 different Troopers and a Bark Speeder. So like, I don't know how you're counting that exactly, but maybe 45 releases, right?
Yeah.
That's significant, right? That's a lot of figures to be factoring in. And, as far as announcements go, it's not far off from it's like 41. So it's really not that far off, and that's just announcements of things that are to come. So it's a lot, man. Optical, got to ask you, because I know like my one of my really good friends Kiko does this too. 125 plus figures. PJ and I are obviously a little bit different stage. Like we're in the 25 to 50, and that's about max what I can have with these module cases, and I don't plan on expanding beyond that. Dude, how do you manage 125? I don't think I could do it, bro. But I've seen people like yourself and Kiko and other collectors who will watch this, I'm sure, do it really effectively. But to me, dude, I've moved collectibles. That would be so stressful to move 125 plus figures, dude. I don't know how you manage that many. Does it feel stressful ever to you?
In a way, but the thing is, I'm not like you or Kiko who displays them though. I have, everyone's gonna be surprised. I got 3 D12s. And the one that I said earlier, that is the optimal way of displaying a figure, right? Like when I say 2, that's the, I would say optimal, which is you highlight the, the beauty of the figure. Well, I don't do that because I put 5. Put 5 in there. I almost treat them as just a cabinet. I'll just put them in. As far as display, I'm not gonna lie, I like statues better. Like those 3, if I can have more statues or quarter scale, I like them as a display piece. However, I use Hot Toys, I think I've said this before, as a tool. Like a carpenter with his tools, I use Hot Toys as a tool for my photography and my videos. So now I'm in a stage where they're not a display piece for me anymore. They're more of my tools. Like I bought Carnage specifically to have a fight scene with Venom, not to display him per se. I was still gonna display him, but like, look, Venom is right here standing. I stop the thought process of how am I going to display these guys? No. So I'll be like, all right, I'll get one and just put them there, and maybe I'll pick them up one day. So
gotcha. So it's more like for photography and just for personal fulfillment and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. I just gave up. I'm not saying anyone should follow what I do, because this is not optimal. Like putting a $400 figure here being dusted off. But
right.
That's just where I'm at.
I just want to know what this business model is going to do for Hot Toys, because obviously the average collector cannot keep up. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Maybe there is people out there that have tons of money and tons of space, but for an average collector to kind of keep up with a lot of these releases, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I really took myself out of the Hot Toys collecting game. Just because, like, back then, I think when I was streaming with you guys a lot, I mean, I think I told you, guys, I'm done with Marvel. I'm selling all my Marvel figures. I'm just gonna stick to Star Wars. I think that's a safe place. Shoot, I was totally wrong.
Nope.
Now, I mean, like, I was like, I saw kind of the writing on the wall when they got, they start producing clones, right? I was like, oh man, they could really run away with this, and they did run away with it. And honestly, though, like, you gotta for me, I'm gonna have a bigger focus because I cannot keep up with all the Star Wars Hot Toys releases. I mean, unless I'm just only collecting Star Wars figures. and that's it. I'm not collecting statues. I'm not collecting props. I'm not collecting helmets. But to me, it's kind of boring to collect that way.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I've kind of gotten big into the idea of diversifying the collection. That's been just something that I've approached. I mean, everyone's going to be different. Some people have a really all 1/6 scale display and it looks great. I've just, like you said, PJ, I have some props, I have art prints, I have statues, hot toys. Like I like a lot of different things. I think it makes your collection look dynamic and diverse, you know?
I agree. And you get to enjoy different things, but like I just don't want to pigeonhole myself into like just one aspect of just collecting, which is just 1/6 collecting Star Wars figures. You know, to me that could kind of runs its course pretty quickly for me. So
yeah, and if everyone's going to be different, but yeah, I mean, we got so many different releases this year, and we're only a little over halfway through the year, and 44, 45 releases, and about 41 to 42 announcements. So
yeah,
that's nothing to scoff at. Like it's something for sure that you need to pay attention to. And you have to think about too how many people are actually buying. I think most collectors, I said, I ran a different poll at some point, 7 to 10 hot toys per year they buy. So if there's 50 announcements, if there's probably 70 by the end of the year, 70 to 75, maybe 80 releases, and then maybe 70 announcements, and people are buying 10% of those, what does that say about the market? It's like,
and Will, to put it to numbers, that's kind of modest, like 10%. And an average hot toys nowadays is $300. Even the cheapest one, which is Shang-Chi, which is $250. I'm guessing that it's one of the cheaper hot toys. By the time it gets out of checkout, that's $300, $20 shipping. You put another tax in there, and that's like almost $300. So if you buy 10, which is kind of like, let's just say once a month, you're still missing out on a 90% of hot toys that they release. So that's still a big chunk, and that's considered your not even modest. You're kind of like a newbie at that point, right? Kind of like
12 a year. Yeah, 12
a year. Not to make fun of the word newbie, but that's really that's like a lot.
That's probably about what I'll end up like. And honestly, I think my hot toy spending might slow down a little bit just because of the amount of space that I have. But 12 a year is probably about. I don't think I'm going to hit 12 a year moving forward, or this year probably.
Yeah.
Well,
power too,
No, I definitely not going to hit like 10 this year, honestly. Just because I have like this like complete the line mentality. Like if there is like, I have this OCD where I just can't like I cannot just only get just Captain Rex. I gotta get Ahsoka. I gotta get this. I gotta get the 501st. I gotta get Captain Vaughn, Captain, like all these Commander Jesse. It's just like it's just, especially with the Bark Speeder, it's like you just can't get just a speeder. You got to get the figures. You got to collect the line, and that's why it's just it snowballs, and just next thing you know, you're like 30 in the hole. And I just literally just took myself out of it. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get the figures that I absolutely love, and that's it. That I know for a fact that I won't sell it. I know for a fact that I won't go through the selling process and get frustrated with it or lose money on it. I'm just gonna just buy to keep.
That's how I've gotten to PJ. And like, for example, one Optical 2 that I'm just about to pick up is Cad Bane, because Cad Bane, I know, bro. Like Cad Bane was easy. Like that was something I'm like, I gotta have Cad Bane. It's easy. Or Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, the remake they're about to do. Yeah. It's same thing. Like that's an easy one. I'm like, yeah, I'll pre-order that, no doubt. But anything short of that, PJ, I don't really buy it. Like I feel the temptation of it, but I don't buy it anymore because for one, I don't have anywhere to display it. And two, like the amount of money, like you might end up selling it later or whatever. Like I think nowadays, man, you just got to be like, sure, it's hard, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, like I bought like Lando for a good price, like, which is like $200. Now it's like on Sideshow for 175. Even if I wanted to sell that Lando, I would have to sell it for 160. And then
maybe
if I maybe 150. I think 150 is a sure thing. But
150 is kind of like somebody's going to message you, would you take 130?
Right. They probably would.
It's always going to be one. Always one.
Would you take 120?
Oh, no. No way.
But I think PJ, honestly, to sell him relatively quickly, I think you'd probably end up about 140, 150.
140, yeah.
Which is a shame. Which is crazy because I bought him for $200 and I thought that was a steal of a price.
Yep.
Times have changed since when I first started collecting, where Hot Toys was, I mean, you were
That's a
begging for
legacy
some,
character too.
yeah, dude.
Legacy.
And people have been like begging for him to be made for a long time. And he
Yeah.
finally did. I guess they overproduced him, or there wasn't a lot of demand. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
exactly. Yeah, times have changed, man. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
But hey,
That's-
it's so interesting to see, because we are collecting for the love of it. But yeah, I mean, you got to think about this too if you ever need to sell or something goes wrong. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, like a part of me, that's why I kind of almost left the game. I'm 90% out. It's just because like I said, I just don't want to have that stress feeling, the stress level, like, of just like trying to complete the line. Oh my God, here comes another one. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, I gotta have this. I gotta have it. And yeah, I just don't want to put myself in that position again. So
Understandable. Well, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below about, how many Hot Toys you want to pick up per year. And of course, how many Hot Toys you want to ideally have in your collection. Really interesting. And I always love that you guys are, willing to vote in these polls and give us some data to interpret. So I think it's pretty cool.
yeah,
Anyway,
good
guys.
data. Will, good data,
Yeah,
man. That
dude,
was awesome.
thanks, man. I appreciate it. I try to come up with these good questions for people, PJ, and like get them. They always vote, man. People like voting and sharing because then we can
Yeah.
use it to sort of understand what we're doing better and understand how collectors operate. So
Yeah.
pretty helpful. But we got to talk about something else. And this is going to be, I think, pretty interesting. And this is why another question that I asked, but I have to ask you guys the same question. Okay.
Oh.
This is going to be good, right? Is it
Oh, boy.
weird for male collectors to collect female figures? And I think this is a legitimate question because if you look at the analytics for a lot of these figures, for female characters, sometimes they don't seem to get as much attention as the male characters for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the quality of the character themselves, or maybe male collectors feel a little bit weird buying too many female figures. So I did have to ask the question to people. How many female 1/6 figures do you have in your collection? Most people by far said 1 to 10, which is a pretty big range. I do understand that, but there are actually 9% who have 31 plus female figures. I had to look at my own collection here, and right now I have one female figure. One. I have Rey from Rise of Skywalker. That's it, dude. That's it. And I will have Tifa from Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'll have Aerith as well from Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have those on PO, so I will have those as well. But most collectors...
Abby?
No, thank God I don't. Thank God I don't, bro.
Come on.
Are we classifying her as the female though?
Oh my God. That's true. Yeah, it's true. She
Has
did
bigger arms
she
than
did,
all of us combined. So
she is, dude, she could bench press me, but
Yeah.
but I'll give you an example, right? This is the Tifa from Final Fantasy VII Remake. And this is how she looked in the game, to be fair. But this is a sexualized character. Let's make no mistake about it. That's just what
Holy moly.
that's just what she is. I mean, but she does look
She
like
got beautiful eyes.
she does
Staring
have
at it
beautiful
now.
eyes. She does have beautiful eyes, bro. And then,
gotta
like,
go.
for example, but these are not sexualized characters. Casca Reeves, for example, right? Great figure. But how is Casca Reeves really that popular that people really care that much? Some people are getting Casca Reeves, but I don't know if she's going to fly off the shelf like, say, a Mando, and I guess she's a supporting character, or even Cad Bane is a supporting character, right? Cad Bane is a male alien, but I'm wondering if there's something there that we're missing. Like, is it weird at all for male collectors Optical to collect female figures? Because I'm wondering if some of us feel like, even with me buying that Tifa, I feel a little bit like, I love Tifa, but I feel like, should I have this? Is it weird to have like a female doll in your collection? Is that something we're maybe a little insecure about?
well, not if you're Lane.
Lane's gonna watch this and be like, "You fuckers."
Lane specifically, he would modify this Casca Reeves.
He would modify.
Oh my goodness.
Swap it out to a Phison
Dude.
body. It was just like, why did you do that, Lane? She's all covered up. She would be like, not for me. Not for me.
Dude, no fucking chill, dude.
I know. I'm thinking of a female figure that I bought specifically not to complete a line, because I do have a lot of female figures, but that's mostly like I want Black Widow to complete Avengers.
Yeah.
I need Wonder Woman to complete Justice League, some sort. I need Wasp, so Ant-Man has somebody next to her. I think the only female figure that I bought that is her by herself is Alita, because she just looks so damn awesome. You know, like
Yeah,
the
she
robotic
is.
arm.
Yeah,
And
she is. Yeah.
but I don't think collectors per se have a problem, like, or kind of like being, ooh, I don't know about that, you know. But I think it becomes kind of, if you don't have, let's say, Bo and Axe Wolves, and you just bought what's her name, Casca by
Oscar Reeves,
herself,
yeah.
that's kind of like, all right, that's kind of off the field right there, you know. Because I always look at her like, I would buy her if I have like Bo-Katan and you know, Axe Wolves.
Yeah.
Now you're completing a line. But if you just buy her by herself and your name is not Lane, that's kind of like, you know, kind of like suspicious, right? Like she's not that, you know, her character's pretty good, but you know, she's not really the star of the show. It's like, you know, it's like you'll be like, I love WWE. Okay, fine, you know.
I like WWE. Well, because like you don't have to sexualize the figure to own them. Maybe you just love the character, and that should be ideally how you do it. And that's why I think Bo-Katan is a bestseller on Sideshow, because she's not a sexualized female character. She's a pretty leading character at this point. I mean, so, but for example, some of the others, Optical, like Fennec or Casca, or I mean, Ahsoka's a leading character too, I guess. But
she's kind of
but I mean, Optical, do you think there's anything like, I don't think it's weird at all, depending upon what you're doing with it. But I mean, you know, I would say otherwise, if you're just collecting it, you're fine.
What are you doing with it?
I don't know. I mean, you know,
I was modifying Ahsoka the other night.
Modifying her orange body.
I was like, I'm testing her elbows.
Oh my god, dude, they probably broke. Honestly,
they're just like, oh, articulated eyes. Let's see if the mouth articulates as well. No, but I don't think there's anything weird about it.
I don't think so either. But
I don't think any, unless you are one of the. This is where I find it kind of. I still don't find it weird, because the guys who's modifying it, you know, like you've seen them. We've seen them both, Will. You know, those panels who are like, you know, in a you know, pretty provocative position.
Right.
When they, I don't know, when they try to sexualize it, I guess that's when it becomes weird.
Right.
You know, like kind of this Ray. I've seen some who, you know, replace the body not for articulation movement, but because, you know, to give her a bigger asset or something. It's like, why would you fucking do that, man? That's just weird.
That's where I think it goes too far. Yeah, it goes way too far. Yeah. But PJ, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. If you're a non-collector, it's just going to be weird, right?
You think so?
I just think I had some comments when you know, people who weren't collectors or didn't know much about Hot Toys, they came in and they saw some of the figures, are like, oh, okay, those are, you know, to them it's dolls, right? Yeah, but I mean, from a collector to collector, it's not weird unless your whole collection is just all female.
True.
Then it becomes a little weird, you know.
It's Lane weird.
Well, I don't know. I haven't, you know, seen his collection recently.
I haven't seen Lane's. Lane's such a cool dude, man. But I don't know how many. He does have a lot of female collectibles, but that's what he likes, man.
He likes powerful women.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's true.
She's a Skywalker, so I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. Another topic for another time. But you know, again, like it's just one of those things. I think it's not weird. Obviously, if you're collecting a line, you know, you want to get, you know, like what Optical said, you want to get Bo-Katan, you want to get Casca Reeves, you know, you want to add that to your collection and have them all displayed at the same time. And you know, that Casca Reeves portrait looks amazing, you know. You know, Black Widow, I mean, Ellen Ripley, you know, those are figures that you want to have in your collection because it completes a line, or they look super cool. Like Ellen Ripley can be displayed by itself because she is really the only, you know, character from that movie that you really care about, you know, unless they make a new, which I don't think they will. But yeah, no, I don't think it's weird at all. But it's kind of weird if you, like you said, you sexualize them, or you just have just all female characters and nothing else, you know, and just, you know.
Right. I wonder why why male collectors, because like I get female collectors doing that because you don't get as many amazing female action heroes or superheroes or whatever, so like they want to kind of honor those, and I get that makes sense. But as a guy, like I'm wondering why you would do that. You know what I mean? Like I mean I guess the simple answer is to like it's like a sexual thing of some kind. I don't know, like if you only collect female characters and that's it. Like that's I don't know. That's where like I'm with you guys. It starts to become a little sus.
Yeah, it just becomes a little weird. Like, why are you just only collecting females only when, like, there's other characters from that IP that, like, male characters that you could collect, or aliens, or other types of other things that you could collect. But if you're just collecting only female, then I just kind of have to question why you just only want to collect female characters.
Would you feel that way, PJ? Because we're looking at it a lens of a collector, right? Like with us, we walk into somebody's room and we see, a bunch of females mixed in with the guys. We're not going to be like, are you guys a weirdo? No, because we collect 1/6.
Yeah.
Anyone who walks in our room who doesn't collect will feel like we're weirdos anyway. So
that's
probably true. That's probably true. Yeah.
Let's eliminate them. But as we currently stand, when would you feel weird? Like, is that the case when you just see somebody's detolf just all female? Would you feel like, oh, you know what? I gotta go. Is that
I gotta go?
Is that a red flag?
Yeah, like say if like I walk in someone's house and they're a collector, and I walk in and all I see is female figures all over, including statues, and then he closes the door as I walk in his room, then I kind of have to
that's like Jeffrey Dahmer, bro. That's different.
No, but it's just kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. Just
this is you as a collector, right?
Me as a collector, like
house. All you see is, let's say, I like Ray, for example, and then you walk into my house. All my figures are Ray. I have all the Hot Toys Ray. I got posters of Ray, Ray's lightsaber, statues of Ray.
Yeah,
posters, clippings from magazines,
clippings.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
It's a little weird. It's a little weird. You have to agree. It's a little. Maybe a session for the actress, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's that we live in a world where you have to assume that, right? Like you could, like, what if Optical just really fucking loved Ray and had nothing to do with sexuality whatsoever? Like it was just like Ray's a fucking awesome character. I love Ray, and like the problem is we just can't assume that. Like we're gonna assume the worst. We're gonna assume the opposite.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's ask the question. That's a really good question. But let's ask the question this way too. Like you mentioned non-collectors, right? They're going to think you're weird regardless, right?
Yeah.
But I think they're going to think you're twice as weird if you have a ton of female figures and hardly any male figures, right?
Right.
Like they're going to think you're weird regardless. I have a half scale Pennywise over here, right?
Yeah.
But if that, if I had like a female Pennywise that was all sexualized, they'd probably be like, yeah, I'm gonna head out. Like that, that would be a very, very different conversation. And again, we're not here to shame anyone. It's just this is a topic that no one talks about, right? But I think it's an important one. It's
because I'm trying to think too. Is like if we walked in someone's house, say that are non Hot Toys collectors, and they're collecting something else, maybe I don't know. What's a weird collection? I don't know, Beanie Babies or something like that. They're all female. I don't know. I don't know. To us, it'll be weird, right? If someone just like, "Hey, Will, look at my Beanie Baby collection," you're like, "Okay, dude, like that's awesome." But to them, it's like
Baby collection.
Yeah, but to them, it's like they got the rare Beanie Baby or something.
I'll ask the opposite, because I did post a short of my DC, my Avengers. I was happy. I finally got Cyborg, so I did a shorts of my DC finally complete, right? So it's just shorts. It was a quick pan of all, and then one guy commented, and I don't know him. It was just like, "So you like big muscular guys, huh?" And I was,
oh my god,
I don't know how to react. Just like
he's just probably trolling you.
And I'll be like, he is, but I'll be like, "You're right."
Yeah, I do.
I actually watch wrestling, so I like big, muscular, sweaty guys on top of each other. So
yeah, dude, that's WWE for you, right? There. I don't know, man, but like and I did ask the question to people too, like how many male characters do you have in your collection, and the results obviously were higher. So,
Yeah.
1 to 10 though was still pretty much in there, but 31 plus was the winner here. The highest number I could throw out there was the
Yeah.
winner. So, but is that just a matter of Hot Toys is making way more male characters because there's way more male characters in the movies and the TV shows, or are collectors interested in more male characters because they don't want to feel weird, or maybe they feel like they just like the male characters better? I don't know. Like it's a fascinating conversation. Like I think it's a little bit of everything. Don't
Yeah,
you
it's a
guys
little
think?
bit of yeah, I agree. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and I don't even think that's a shortage of women movies. It's
Mhm.
just that it's like in basketball, right? Like it doesn't mean that WNBA is well, they are horrible. But
They could beat
even
us. I mean,
even the female would be like, well, there should be equal pay. I was like, name me 10 WNBA players. You guys don't support that. So I guess in a business
Right.
standpoint, there's more male characters because who, like on your stream, who watches? Maybe like 98% male.
it is. It's like
So they
96% male.
yeah,
Yeah,
so they
96,
would
97.
cater more to what male likes, and that is a big
Yeah.
muscular guy.
But it's weird because we don't, like, for example, the 3% of female collectors that do collect, that watch the streams, and they're all super, super pleasant and great. Like, we don't ever think it's weird when they collect mostly all male characters. You know what I mean? Like but with us, with female characters, we'd be like, I don't know why is that a double standard? Is that
I don't know. I mean,
interesting?
I just think it'd be weird if I guess it's not weird for like a female collector just to collect all female characters, right? I think that
No,
like,
it's
oh,
not. It's
women.
not.
But then if a female collected all male character, is it weird? I
I
don't
don't think
know.
so. I don't
I
think it
don't think
is.
I don't think as weird as a male collector collecting all female characters.
Right.
I
You
wonder
know,
why though. Why though?
Oh,
I wonder.
Can on top of your head, you guys, name me a female character that if they make outside of Ellie, that if they make and
Damn
Abby,
it.
outside of Ellie and Abby, if they make this, you'll be
Abby.
like, I'm all over it. Can you guys
Ray,
think of
probably. Yeah, Ray.
yeah. But here's the thing too. I just think that we're fascinated with just female collectors in general. So
the
Well, because they're
collectors
so
of
rare.
collectors?
anything they do is just like, oh man, it's cool. You know, like they're
Right,
collecting like
right.
us. So
They're
I
like
just
unicorn.
yeah, they're like a unicorn, right?
Right.
So
They are. But
um
Optical, it's a good question. I mean,
mhm.
like Optical, yeah, Ellie would have been one for sure. Not
Because we're
Abby.
talking
No.
about double standards. Like if I ask you right now, Hot Toys is gonna make a female character of your choosing, not named Ray, Ellie and
Ellie.
Abby, who would it be? Like they'll give you 10 seconds. Can you even think of one? Like you'll be like, oh man, I'll buy
That
it
I
for
would be all
$1,000.
over.
Yeah, I'll buy it $1,000.
Dark Side Ray.
Yeah.
What
like
about Second Sister? I would like her from
okay, maybe yeah.
but I don't know Optical, but that's a very valid question. That would be tough for me. Yeah.
Right? Like it's tough. Like I'm like thinking right now, it's like I'll make a female one. Like I bought Alita. She's the lead role, like her, but she's more like robotic, so it's kind of like unfair.
Right.
But I like the movie. What is that movie? Salt with Angelina Jolie, for example. Right? I like that movie. Didn't love it. Liked it. If they make a figure, would I buy it? Absolutely not. Like
but see Optical. But think about too how people haven't really embraced Captain Marvel. People haven't really embraced like who the other ones, like Thena, like the superheroes. I'm thinking of Marvel female.
Yeah. Well,
like I'm
Thena
wondering why that is.
they're kind of iffy. Like their character, not just the figure, the character itself.
Yeah, right.
The movie itself is kind of
because people like, for example, people love Jyn Erso. People absolutely go crazy.
Yeah, that's sold out. That's sold out.
So, because people love the film, so I think it just depends on the
Yeah.
quality of the character in the film. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think with the Eternals too, like I think if they completed the team, I think more people would buy that Thena character. But I feel like they're not completing the team, so it's just like it's just gonna be weird just to have Thena and Gargamesh. What's his name? Gargoyle? Gargamesh? Gargamesh? I don't know. Gilgamesh,
Well,
right?
and to tie on to that topic, like Riva, for example, right? Like Riva was just most people didn't really connect with her, so it's same kind of deal. Like it's
Yeah.
I can think of one. Catwoman from Batman Forever.
Catwoman.
I bet you if they do one, sold out.
You mean from Dark Knight?
No, that too, and the one that everyone's
Batman.
asking for, the Michelle Pfeiffer one.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh,
one.
Michelle Pfeiffer one, yeah.
Right, people would do that.
Yeah, I think it was sell out.
Yeah,
But
she
that
probably was.
is that a cop out because that's still a comic book character, so to speak?
No, I'd say that's
No,
reasonable.
that's
I mean,
fine.
but
That's reasonable.
but the fact that we can't really think of anyone, is that more of an indication that there just aren't enough female-led films? Like, is that like most of them are still male? There's more female than there was for sure, but
Yeah.
I think
like
there
Yeah.
is more male. I mean, I think it's a fact. There's more male oriented things that is more catered to us in a form of that's going to be made as a toy.
right.
Mhm.
Because I
And
mean,
I think it's a
and
fact.
I would assume the analytics, like for example, when we look at these YouTube analytics, where the audience who watches my channel are like 97% male, I would assume the collector audience who collects hot toys is probably maybe not that quite disproportionate, but maybe 95% male, 90% male. Like I would assume it's probably like that, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, when I was collecting a lot of Hot Toys back then, Marvel and Star Wars, I would say a percentage of it is at least like 15% were female, because you had the
Right.
Wasp, you got, yeah, then I had like Jyn Erso, Princess Leia. I mean, there's
Yeah,
a good
Leia.
amount of female characters. I mean, I had Ellen Ripley at once. I mean, I never thought once, oh man, this is kind of weird. I felt kind of weird when I was brushing Black Widow's hair,
Well, a
when they
couple of
had
those
their
figures too were a little,
when I
yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
trust me, when I was brushing it, I was like, yeah, what am I doing?
It makes you question,
I
yeah.
questioned
Question
myself for
your
that very
life.
moment. I told myself, I hope my wife is not gonna like walk through this store because this is gonna be weird. But besides that, no, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was weird. You know, but
Yeah. I don't
I
think it's
like I
weird
said,
either.
I don't think it's weird. I just think it's weird if it's just strictly female. I don't know why. It just I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Collect whatever you want, but if it just be like,
I think it
hey,
became weird because of this data. There's so many male figures
mhm,
that's out there, and you choose to collect just female.
female, yeah.
Like I think that's where it becomes kind of. It was like you can't find a
Mhm.
good Batman out there that you bought two
Yeah.
Well,
Captain Marvels.
that is a good point to that, because it just totally overwhelming, disproportionate male figures. There's a lot more male figures. So if you to only have female figures, you have to be actively targeting only female figures. You have to go out of your way to not buy anything male. Like, and for female collectors, again, that makes sense. Like if you want to collect all female characters because
Yeah.
empowerment, and you want to see females in lead, that makes sense.
Nothing wrong
But
with
for
that.
a guy, it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if
For a
that's the
guy,
double
there's
standard.
nothing wrong with that, but please don't question if we feel kind of uneasy right next to you.
Yeah,
Right,
because it's just like, oh, there's Ant-Man and Wasp, and you just got the Wasp. It's like, wait, why didn't you get Ant-Man? Or it's
Wasp is cool, but yeah, she
It's
would
like
look better with
asking
women.
somebody, it was like, "What's your favorite team?" The '96 Bulls. "Who's your favorite player there?" "Judd Butler." I was like, "You didn't like Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, even
Right.
Steve
why
Kerr.
don't you?
You didn't like that.
Right,
You went all the way from the bench guy. All right,
the
cool."
bench guy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Dude.
I like Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know if you think we're crazy, and if you, because I think we're all three. We got a consensus here. We don't think it's weird as long as you're not sexualizing them. If you're sexualizing them, then it becomes weird. Yeah,
then it does. Yeah,
yeah, because it's not what the figures are meant for. They're meant to be representations of awesome characters and iconic and whatever, and just you're supposed to love the character, not love the look of the character only. So that's how I view it.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. Well, thanks for your thoughts on that one. Let's ask another question. This is gonna be pretty fun too. InArt, guys, I gotta ask the question here. Has InArt disappointed us so far? Because they've been around, like maybe I'm just gonna pull up SPAC and just pull up all the InArt ones we have on pre-order and waitlist and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
InArt has been around like maybe a year and a half at this point. They've released one figure. It was the Joker. Well, I guess you could count two, because for three, maybe because you have the two rooteds and then the sculpted Joker, but it's really just one Joker, basically, just with some variation to it.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know, maybe this was our fault as collectors. I was expecting them to be a little more prolific in terms of their production. Like I was expecting them to produce more than one figure per year, put more announcements up. But are we entitled asking for that? Because they are, I mean, the Joker delivered on the quality. Besides the magnet issues, so be it. But as far as the quality of the figure, for most people, unless like Kiko, for example, he got the one with the afro hair. But short of that, the quality has been really good for these figures, but they're just very, very, very slow in terms of the production. Are we asking for too much, Optical? Because I mean, I can't deny I love InArt, but I'm a little disappointed so far. What do you think?
I don't really disappointed in terms of their release days.
Maybe
Like
their
the
releases and
times.
the like the amount of time it's taking them to release and also announce things. Like they don't announce things like Hot Toys has released. I mean, I get they're not Hot Toys, but Hot Toys has released almost 45 to 50 things this year. InArt has released 0.
Yeah.
Like, is that a problem? You know,
in a sense, if you are, because when InArt was announced, we were like, all right, Hot Toys is a competition, and then you can't compete if you are like this. Like you can't release one. Hot Toys would release 3 figures in one night. They would announce 7
right.
on a Tuesday night.
Right.
And that keeps the people going, like, and I've been vocal about this. I knew Joker was going to be a hit, and not because it's Joker. And your other alternative is back then $1,000 DX11. So I knew whether this looks like not like InArt, it would sell regardless, because it is what it is. So this is not, Joker is not their test, so to speak. I think they're realizing right now that it's harder than it actually is, because I feel like that Joker didn't sell as well as they hoped for. So now they're kind of like, all right, take it easy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they took a loss. Maybe they didn't.
Mhm.
Maybe that's why you don't see a lot of announcement. Because if that Joker, for example, in your eyes, if this is our highest tiered and it didn't sell as expected, what's going to happen to this Batman where we have a competition in Hot Toys? What's going to happen to Pennywise or Gandalf? Like Joker, which is our MVP, didn't sell as well as we hoped for. So maybe we should pump our brakes a little bit here, be more strategic, learn what's the problem here? How come Joker didn't deliver as much as we thought it would? Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Maybe they're working on, because the quality is there, right? Like there's no doubt in the quality, but that's speaking as a consumer. Now them being the production team will be like, man, we didn't make that much money, So now they're not a competition to Hot Toys. They're an alternative to Hot Toys now. If you want something higher, but the question is how sustainable that is. Like how many Gandalfs are they going to sell? To a point that they'll be afloat. So have they disappointed in that sense? Yes, in the terms of, hey, this is like a competition for Hot Toys. Now they're not a competition anymore. Like, how are you going to compete with, this is what you have. And we don't even know when the next one's going to be released. Like people don't know if they are going to save up, or is my the NRD going to hit? Am I supposed to do a payment plan? No one knows, because what's supposedly the next release? Gandalf?
I think it'd be Gandalf and then Pennywise, probably. Yeah.
Like it's so hard. Like even if the company does payment plan, but what if it doesn't get released after 6 months? So now you can't even do a chargeback or something, right? Like you can't refund on PayPal after 6 months. So in that sense, there's so many questions outside of their quality. We're hanging on to their quality, but are you really willing to wait, in terms of that quality, while you're missing out on Hot Toys? Because let's just say you're one of the people who only collects 1 to 10 figures on the first graph,
right? Because
Because you have limited money. Now you're missing out on some Hot Toys that are being waitlisted because you're clinging to this idea that, man, InArt's gonna fucking deliver. I just don't know when. So
and I've been doing that. I've been waiting on their John and Danny, for example. Yeah.
But at least you have you can deviate a little bit because you have the means. But what if I don't? What if I can only afford $2,000 worth of stuff every year? This is a quarter of that. So in that sense, I would say yes. Like they weren't I wouldn't say juggernaut, but they didn't produce as much. They weren't announcing as much. They're not giving us anything outside of the first promise that was a year and a half ago. So you got to have like a patience of a saint to cling into the hope that, there's people who's like, I'm just going to collect InArt from here on out. I mean, if that's the case, you
got one figure.
You need one detolf because it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I would say yes, because they weren't as active or as engaging or even as viable at this point. It's like, even if you want to buy one, where are you going to buy it? Like you want to pre-order it, you don't even know where to pre-order. Like just so many question marks.
Well, Optical, I don't think they disappointed us, like you said, insofar as quality. I think I'm with you 100%. I just think as far as pace, I guess that's where I would question things. You know, maybe they just don't have a big team. And PJ, what do you think? I mean, with InArt with you, I mean, because the Joker, I have both of them. They're great figures. They're great, and I can't wait for Pennywise. I can't wait for Gandalf. But I mean, I'm assuming we're going to get those this year. But even that's questionable, right? Like, are we going to get because if they don't release those two this year, they released literally nothing in 2023. So
yeah.
like Joker was like kind of last year, maybe this year. I don't know where you count it, but I don't know, PJ. Have they? I don't know. It's a tough question. Have they disappointed you so far?
No, I mean, I haven't picked up any of their figures. You know, you know, obviously we know the company InArt from Queen Studios. It's just a branch of Queen Studios, and we know that, you know, they produce quality statues. And I don't have any of the figures, but you know, from what you're telling me, that they're good quality figures, right?
Right. The Joker's great. Yeah.
The Joker's great. I just think that, you know, all honesty, I mean, if anything, I wish that InArt would try not to compete with Hot Toys directly in terms of characters that are being made, because then it puts pressure on them to make sure the quality is great to beat Hot Toys. And we all know Hot Toys quality is top notch, right? Like what Optical said, like, you know, there's no question that a figure that's going to be released is going to be good, right? When has Hot Toys ever made a bad figure? I mean, the Ant-Man with the smiling face and Chewbacca, but there are very there are very few figures that they really didn't deliver on out of how many hundreds of figures that they have delivered in the past. So honestly, though, I think with the price point and everything being a little higher, just because they're not like they don't have the license to distribute here in the country, and they have to use other like retailers to distribute their product. I honestly think that they should try to and focus their attention on delivering or getting licenses for characters that they can distribute worldwide and give us a cheaper product so that more people can buy their figures. Um, and honestly, like with just one figure being released this year, they
That
need
was last
to
year, no?
last year, end of
Joker was
last
like
year.
technically last year, early this year, but yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, though, they need to release another figure pretty soon so that they could kind of like start paving their way into, like, you know, being a competitor in the 1/6 scale world, which is pretty much dominated by Hot Toys. Not to say to rush their figures and make sure, you know, give us like, you know, bad quality figures, but honestly, they need to kind of like start making their name in the game. But so far, with just one release, it's still they're still kind of up in the air, you know, with a lot of like, you know, people who don't believe in them yet. So
Yeah. Well, maybe
yeah,
production just a lot harder than we realize, you know, to
especially
make
with
these
the rooted
figures.
hair.
Yeah, with the rooted hair and making them as high quality as they are. Like, because this Aragorn looks stunning. I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible. But and I'm sure it will be this good when you get to your hand, hopefully. But it just maybe it's just the amount of time we have to wait because we all got so excited about them, and then like we just don't. We have very little to show for it right now, besides that Joker, right? That's it.
Yeah.
So you know, it's been a year and a half, and we have one. I mean, I guess the two versions of one figure, but basically one figure, right? So it's you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm. That's why, like for example, like I was expecting to have like maybe a PO for like we talked about Optical for Danny and Jon Snow, right? I was expecting to have that so I could at least have them on pre-order. Like there's no sign of those even coming anytime soon. Like that's like that might not be even announced next year, right?
Yeah.
Like that's you know where's Legolas? Where's the
It
Batman?
makes it harder to plan for them. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like to allocate money, to allocate a display piece, you know, kind of like a space. For example, you who wants everything streamlined,
Right.
like how long is this space going to be empty for 4 years? You know, like they haven't even announced it yet. Announcing is one thing, and then making them like so. It is, and for a company when they started, who's about communication and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't follow them as often. Is there any reason why just release? Just I don't know, Pennywise or Batman, for example. You would think that me competing with Hot Toys directly in this case, which is Batman, is head to head. Me releasing it early would give me a leg up, right? Like the Hot Toys
Yeah.
even announced it yet. If I release one early, boom, the impatient people would probably just jump on me and cancel their pre-order at Batman. But that you would think that was a sound strategy, but why? What's the holdup, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. I mean, I know there's a lot of quality control that goes into these figures with the rooted hair, and the weathering and the bases and everything. So it's a lot. I mean, I know that Joker figure it's a lot and a lot goes into it, but I don't know. Maybe if they need to expand their production team, maybe with the quality drop, and that would be problematic. I don't know, but something's gonna have to change because I can only assume they can't survive like this forever. Like this, they can't release one figure a year. I mean, that's it's just not, that's never gonna fly. So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, PJ, it's gonna have to be a minimum 5 figures a year. I mean, I would assume like they're gonna have to release more.
Well, that's kind of why why I said what I said earlier is you got Hot Toys releasing 5 figures a week.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So you not try to say push out like, just the quantity just to get it, or push a figure out just to get it out. But, you kind of have to step up your game because, there's a lot of collectors putting their money that could have been putting their money towards your product, now putting it towards Hot Toys because they don't want to wait any longer.
Right.
They're like, oh wait, oh my gosh, I really want this Batman figure, but man, they just released the Bark figure. I mean, the Bark speeder bike or whatever, and maybe I'll just buy that just to hold me down. And
Yeah. And it's true. And like Optical said, like what if the Hot Toys Batman comes out first before this one?
oh yeah, and everyone praises about it.
Yeah.
And
Now,
it's not like they did it with Joker where they released one and everyone had a Joker. They did it in batches. So what's stopping them from releasing 100 batch, for example, of this Batman? And then everyone gave them a pass, right? Like, oh, that's how Hot Toys does. Some people got their Joker last year. Some people still doesn't have their Joker right now.
It's crazy.
Right?
Yep.
It's frustrating, but people would take it more than just not releasing anything at this point. Like, what's stopping them from releasing 100 Batman? So we have it in hand now and be like, oh, this is amazing. And maybe some people would change their mind, cancel their pre-order from Hot Toys, because I do want them to succeed. It's just that like the entire thing is kind of like just really blurry, like what they're doing, kind of like, oh, all we are clinging on is their quality.
Right.
But at the same time, like your graph earlier, your Excel sheet, Hot Toys has released 40 figures to their one. So
yeah.
Right.
Hard.
And yeah, it's it worked out for them that no one really has a Joker figure. I mean, not no one, but a lot of people don't have it.
It's a grail.
But a lot of it's a grail. But now you got a company that has the Batman license and is going to release the Batman figure. You got to be one step ahead of them, because if this releases before they do, then what's to say that, okay, wow, you know what, I'll go the cheaper route because it's cheaper to buy this figure over the InArt one.
Dude, how many pre-orders do they have? 10?
Dude,
10?
well, I don't know. I did hear the numbers for the Harry Potter pre-order were very low. I did hear that. Yeah, I don't know about Batman, but
like
I heard
the characters themselves, like the just pre-orders, like outside of SKU. So you got this Batman, Harry Potter, Aragorn, what's his name? The Wizard. Dude, at this rate, you're gonna complete their lineup in 10 years. Like literally, if they release one every year, I guess you won't spend that much,
Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. Something has got to change. Something has got to, and we don't want to sacrifice quality, but there's got to be a way to ramp up production and maintain quality levels. Yeah. Like that's, I'm assuming they're looking into it.
So Harry Potter's not doing well. I mean,
that's what I heard.
Is that worldwide license or is it just?
I don't think so. No, I think nothing has been yet. Unfortunately, they're trying to get a worldwide license, but yeah.
They got eaten by Star Ace, man.
Yeah, they do got to compete with Star Ace.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just that's what I would like to see InArt try to take a different route in the market and try to make characters that no one really has, like something that is like worldwide license. I'll give you an example. PCS Studios, that makes, the company is making a lot of these, like, they're making the Street Fighter line, right? And they're like affordable price to 200. They know their market. They know that the market's saturated with a lot of statues, but they know, hey, listen, this is the market. This is the corner of the market that I want to tackle. It's horror stuff, horror statues, and not a lot of people are making horror statues. And and that's what they focused on. It's with InArt, they're like, oh, you know what, we're gonna go straight to the jugular for the king, and which is the Hot Toys, you know and like I said, you got to bring your A game. You got to make sure you're producing figures, because Hot Toys is, they stepped
Yeah.
up their game,
Yeah.
especially with the production. So
Yeah, and Hot Toys like Optical, we always bring up. They've in many ways lowered their prices. When we say Tom Holland is 280, like
280.
yeah, that's the running joke, and it's true. You look at that Tom Holland, the red and blue suit, and it's 280. Anakin and Padme were what, 270, and it's so yeah. I don't know. I love InArt and I love it. I'm excited about what they're doing, but it's hard when there's so much time where they're just not in the news. Like they're just like they're quiet for months on end. Like, I know they're working hard, and I know they are. They're really working hard over delivering amazing quality, but it's just like
It's hard to get excited for something that has nothing in sight,
Right. It's just, yeah. And like, look, like I'm waiting for again the NR, Danny and John, but like that's gonna they teased that Superman and haven't even put him up yet. So
yeah,
it's it's hard to get excited when it just takes so long. But and I get Joker came out in about a year and a half for most people. And that's really good because a Hot Toys figure is mostly 2 years. But the problem is there's tons of other Hot Toys that hold you over. InArt, you're getting like 1 PO every 6 months or something. And it's like, it's just not, I don't view that as sustainable. But so anyway, guys, let us know in the comments below about InArt. Have they disappointed you so far? I'm still excited about them. And I think their quality is amazing, but I just want to see more. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Anyway, guys, we got to jump back to Hot Toys. Got to ask you guys the question, would you be open to time pre-orders for Hot Toys? And we have seen some of these. You guys, I don't know, PJ, if you've noticed this as much, but like for some of these figures like Miles Morales, for example, the Miles Morales from Spider-Verse 2, they put like a week PO window on that for the special edition. With the special edition, you do get that head sculpt with the sort of half-mast head sculpt. And, they are starting to kind of experiment with these things with, the exclusive Peter Parker and Miles Morales that are coming out from the new Spider-Man game, or, Darth Vader being the DX version, the special edition, where it's, it's timed for a week, or Peter Parker from, No Way Home, stuff like that. So do you guys want to see more timed pre-order windows from Hot Toys? Because I don't know if I think it might be healthy for the market just because of the amount of oversaturation we've experienced in recent years, the amount of people maybe even leaving the hobby and buying less. Optical, would you want to see some more like special editions like this with timed pre-order windows? Like maybe they do that for the figure as a whole. They say 60 days, right? We'll make as many as 60-day pre-order. I don't know if that would be a financially viable move, but would you want to see more of that as a collector?
I do.
Yeah.
Like I think it brings more value back to the Hot Toys, at least to the first adopters, because you gotta reward them. You don't have to reward guys like me who waits for a sale. That is fine, because I already got my sale. That's my reward.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going back. Honestly, I don't think we're going back to the days where Hot Toys is gonna sell out. It will eventually, but I think we're always gonna be in that realm where it's gonna take years before things sell out. So this incentivizes people who are early adopters, who are those still hardcore collectors who was like, oh, I got this, and maybe they need to sell. Maybe their car broke down, and now they're getting incentivized by, maybe some people are going to value this exclusive mask, right? Like, so at the end of the day, these are still collectibles. We and in any collectible realm, there's some sort of value attached to it, whether you want to say, oh, I do this for the love of the character. No, that's just the game. You get you collect cards, you collect antiques. There are pieces who are more valuable than others. That's just how collecting works. And I think this would at least elevate Hot Toys again to a certain degree to what it was to some people, because you're going to be like, hey, this mask is exclusive edition, even though I don't really view it that way. To some, they do. And I love the fact that not this one, the Wonder Woman, where it's a mashup, right? Like the Wonder Woman, that's a mashup of everything. I like the fact that that's exclusive, because I don't need that. I like the fact that there's a Wonder Woman for me who wants to penny pinch and save money. And then there's a Wonder Woman for people who like, all right, this is kind of like InArt version. It's rooted here, the head of, you can't be mad at them, be like, well, why didn't you release that to the general public? Well, no, if you really want this, then pay to play. If you don't, guess what? There's other Wonder Woman for you. So I like the idea of there's still kind of to some degree, not everything. This is not 2015. You have some valuable pieces still, but not, how do I phrase it? Valuable pieces, but not required. You're not required to buy this. There's a lot of Wonder Woman. You can't be like, hey, I missed out on Wonder Woman. No, they're not preventing you from buying a character. They're preventing you from buying a certain model of a character. Kind of like that Spider-Man and Miles Morales. You can't be like, man, they only made 300 pieces. Well, there's a lot of Spider-Mans out there for you. You can choose one. Just not this. As a matter of fact, there's
Just
one
not
like
this.
this 4 years ago. If you didn't buy it, I'm sorry.
Right. Well, Optical, I love that, bro, because I'm 100% with you, man. So this is something I think people too, that I think people need to maybe understand too. Like, I totally get the idea of, I collect for the joy of it. Like, I don't think about value, this and that. But like, if the hobby isn't healthy financially, then no one wins, really. The only thing, I guess the only way you win is you get figures super, super cheap, I guess. But the longevity of these companies and longevity of the IPs and whatever, like you want everything to be healthy, and you want people to actually, I think a lot of people, I would be willing to speculate, have probably left collecting because the value is so in the tank for these things. Like, you don't want these to become Funko Pops. I don't think you want that. I don't think you want to oversaturate the brand of Hot Toys and other type of collectibles that extensively that they just hold no value whatsoever. And the second you buy them, it's like a car, but you can drive a car. Like, I'll lose value because I can drive it. Hot Toys, I display it. And the second I buy it, I lose 20, 30% of its value. Like, that's, unless I hold it for 5 years, and then maybe I might retain some of that value. Like, that's, I think that's, I think that's why this is perfect what they're doing. Give you both. Give you a wide release, and then give you an exclusive edition for the people who do want something a little more valuable, or something that they still want, but something that would retain its value. Like Wenwu and Suit, for example. I have that one, and I have for other people, there's the regular Wenwu, and I have both of them, right?
Yeah.
But the Wenwu and Suit one, if you really want that exclusive one, then you can get that. So, and I think it also gives you something to chase. That's kind of a part of what's exciting about it. Like, I had to go find that Last of Us Ellie print optical that I got. Super hard to find, super rare. I had to pay for it, right? But it was kind of fun to go chasing and hunting and searching and whatever and trying to find it. Like that, that's something I sometimes miss with Hot Toys. But PJ, what do you think, man? Would you be open to more pre-order windows like this?
Yeah, well, here's the thing too. Is it really like, I mean, has a figure been released that was from a pre-order window? Because sometimes I don't trust that whole pre-order window, because then they'll do that and then you could get it from Hong Kong. That's
You
like,
can do that, yeah. They'll be like, you can get it from
know,
Tim Sen or something, yeah.
yeah, and it's just like, if you're gonna do something like that, make it only exclusive for Sideshow. No one else can buy it, including Tim Sen or some of the other like third-party resellers and stuff like that. Like, and that's my thing. It's like, okay, it's only exclusive for Sideshow, but then Tim Sen has like 1,000 copies,
I don't think they never ever said that. I think they said exclusive to 1,500, for example, and that's worldwide. Like Sideshow gets 300 out of that 1,500
for the Miles and Peter. Yeah.
Oh,
Or
I mean,
for some of these other ones like Obi-Wan, for example, right?
Yeah, Obi-Wan. Okay. Like, so you're saying like I know like the Wonder Woman and stuff, like the Captain America Winter Soldier suit, like those are just super exclusive, right?
Right.
And Wenwu and Suit never actually came to Sideshow. They only, he was only 300 made. So yeah, he was very limited.
Yeah. Like I said, like, as long as they're doing it where to the point where like some of this pre-order windows, you could only get it from Sideshow and nowhere else, then I am all for it. The problem is that when you go outside of Sideshow and you could get it easily, then that what's the point? So I think they should do more of these, right? Because obviously the market's oversaturated with a lot of collectibles now. I feel like every show has like at least 2 or 3 figures. I'm seriously scared for Spider-Man 2. I don't know why that's giving me heart palpitations, because you got Venom, you got what's the guy's name? Craven.
Craven, yeah.
Yeah. You got all these characters that's probably going to be made by Hot Toys, because Hot Toys loves Spider-Man. Honestly, just kind of do a pre-order window for all these figures, right? Hey, listen, you want this? You got to pre-order it now and honor it. So collectors are really forced to buy it right away or pre-order it right away, so they don't miss out. The fear of missing out. If I was a company, I'll play on those emotions, right? Honor that system where, oh, you guys missed out on that pre-order window. Guess what? Sorry, you missed
Right.
out. You missed out. Then now you build that hype of, oh my gosh, this Obi-Wan, I gotta get it because no one else, like, I'm not missing out on it again. That's what I did with the Rancor from Sideshow. I knew that, from the Dewback, I missed out on that Dewback 6 scale statue. I wasn't gonna miss out on the Rancor, and I jumped on it right away, and it sold out. And now that Rancor is, worth the prepay. And I'm not going for, like, the value of it. I'm still gonna keep my Rancor, but honestly, if you just kind of like want to battle like the oversaturation of figures and not turn it into a Funko Pop, really stick to your guns. I think they're doing it with figures like this, like the Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That's a great example, and even the other Batman stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that blue Batman they made. That was but it's cool though that it's an exclusive sort of and one-off type of thing. And this Wonder Woman, same deal. But I'm interested to see what they do because that Miles and that Peter from the new Spider-Man game, those are the main characters in that game, and they decided to make them exclusive. And those are Spider-Man figures. So I wonder if that's going to be more of a thing we're going to see moving forward.
yeah,
I love it, Will, because those
Me
two
too.
were readily available for years, right?
Yep.
Like Miles, I think you can still go to some sites and you can get the Miles Morales from the first game.
Yep.
The difference is not that big, right? Like he got a red here instead of just red coming
Right.
down here. So I like the idea that these are not characters that, let's say, they decide to do Yondu just exclusive, right? Like, it was like, dude, I don't want to fight for Yondu. I need Yondu. So, kind of not a character, but this is more of like a skin, so to speak.
Yeah.
You want this kind of skin? Go ahead. This is not the first Miles. Like, if this is the only Miles, I would be like, dude, that's wrong. You can't do that. Like, if they made this Spider-Man, which is Tobey Maguire, exclusive, they'll be like, dude, are you guys nuts? It was like, I want one. I don't want to fight somebody with like refreshing my browser, but it's not. So it's optional. Like, you don't need to go for that Miles. Like, there's another Miles out there now for that Advanced Suit Spider-Man 2.0. I know the old one has been released a long time ago, but I feel like that's the name of the game. You pay to play. You don't need to have the Spider-Man. You want it? Pay 400 on eBay. I think that's how it is. You want Hella? Pay 500 on eBay. If you don't want to pay 500, guess what? Hot Toys just released 40 figures this year. Pick one of those. They're cheap.
Right.
I feel like that's just how it is.
I feel like some of that needs to come back to the hobby, unfortunately. I think because I think we got too comfortable with things getting way oversaturated and a lot of us doing this too, saying don't pre-order things because we're just telling you what's in the best interest of your wallet. And we were analyzing what the market was looking like and saying you legitimately have no incentive to pre-order.
Yeah.
You're actually de-incentivized to pre-order because if you do, you're going to pay more than you would pay later by far. So that's what happened. And then eventually now the market, I think those retailers like Sideshow and manufacturers like Hot Toys, they're shifting back because they're just adapting to what we've done. Like not YouTubers, but just any collector, right? They're just looking at what the market has done and they're being reactive to it. And this is what you get. And I think this is what's going to help everything be a little bit healthier. I think we need some of that. Not where people get really frustrated and you're crashing websites and can't buy anything, but you need some of that exclusivity back injected into the hobby to give it a little more like, okay, like I actually have to pay attention and, I want to get other things. And like, again, I just don't think you want these to become Funko Pops. I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
Well, sorry, Optical.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say is that like remember I'd said it in Optical stream quite a few times is the ecosystem is just basically have a nice ecosystem of collecting, right? Okay, you're gonna have scalpers, you're gonna have people that are like are flippers, right? Whatever. That's just part of the game. Like that helps that ecosystem, right? You don't have that, then you have a really like an ecosystem that's out of control, which is which it is right now. You got oversaturation of figures, pre-orders, no one's pre-ordering, and you know what? You need those pre-orders as like like more like an analytics. Like, okay, well, there's only like 5,000 that pre-ordered this figure. Let's make 7,000,
Right.
but you don't have that because no one's pre-ordering now. So you're like, what? No one's pre-ordering. Only got like 20, or let's just say, only got like 300 pre-orders. How much should we make? Should we really make 500? That seems like unreasonable. So that's why you need to reset the ecosystem. You need to interject it with some exclusivity, things like this, so that we could just jumpstart the hobby again, and get it to where it needs to be.
Yeah. And I look, I totally understand people who say, and I think that's it's an ideal way to look at it. I collect it because I love these figures, I love these characters. That's great, but you also want the industry to be healthy, because if it's not, you don't get these figures at all.
Right.
So, and that's part of the thing I think people do need to understand. Like I don't know, I don't claim to know Hot Toys financial numbers or Sideshows, but they cannot be doing, Sideshow cannot be doing well if they're discounting all their shit by 40% all the time. Like
Yeah.
they're sitting on so much dead stock. It's very clear they're running sales all the time. They can't be doing well. They clearly don't like that. So, this type of stuff, I'm sure Sideshow has probably talked to Hot Toys and like, we need to like make it stuff more exclusive or whatever. Because again, like PJ and Optical both said, no one's pre-ordering. And now with this exclusive stuff, they like that blue Batman. That guy, how many people bought that who really didn't want it because it was exclusive, right? Like that gets people to FOMO.
And we need that. We
Yeah.
honestly need that in the market. And I like the fact that we got Blue Batman.
Yeah.
They're not nerfing us, right? Like this is healthy for both parties. Like people who wants exclusive things, and for us, it's not like they released Namor and he's limited to 300. Now you're going to have some people with pitchforks out. You don't need the Spider-Man. If you want it, be on the lookout, right? Like good for you. If you want this, be on the lookout, hit that refresh button, and good luck. But that's a part of the game. That's the part of the fun, the hunt. And then this is how grails are created.
Yep.
If they are scarce, not everything could be Lando. If everything's Lando, then there is no grail. Because they're readily available. You walk into Walgreens and pick them off the shelf. Then there is no grail. You'll be like, oh, the grail is I get that, but it's like GOAT, like the GOAT in basketball. They can only be a certain, criterias. But I love what Hot Toys is doing with this. I hope they continue, because they're not hurting the collectors.
Nope.
Because again, you don't let's say you play the game and you love Spider-Man. Don't tell me the moment you get a skin, you're gonna change your skin anyway. You're not gonna be this guy. You start off with this guy and then you change your skin, right? So
Right.
I love it. Me personally.
Yeah, I'm all for it too. Just because then, when you pick up some of these collectibles and unexpectedly it becomes valuable, you are like, oh, cool, awesome, right?
Right.
Just like with me and Optical Mark 46, when we picked it
Yep.
up, man, oh man, was that an amazing figure? But if someone pays me $800,
Right, exactly.
Now it's 15% off.
Yeah, I know, right?
exactly.
You can get
Oh
that
my
thing
God.
for probably even more than that. Yeah, no doubt.
See,
Yeah.
look at that. The character didn't change. The figure almost maybe changed for the better because the base is better. You lost the Tony Stark head sculpt. Big deal. Buy another Hot Toys. You'll get a better Tony Stark head sculpt. See, that's how grails are made. That used to be a grail. Not anymore. So nothing changed. I bet you if you release Yondu right now, he's not going to be a grail anymore. Is that?
Well, see, and that's what I love about these exclusive ones, because they're not, maybe the figures don't have a number, but they're limited in terms of how many they're making. And they've said we're making 500. Like, they could remake another Wonder Woman in the future, but as far as this iteration, like it's an exclusive thing. Like I just think I do think, unfortunately, for some who aren't going to like that, we need that. The market.
Yeah, we need. Well, you can't please everyone. That's what I noticed about
Right.
in collecting, right? You can't please everyone, right? There's always going to be someone that's not happy. But in the majority, though, we need this. Imagine if War Machine, the 2.0 reissue or whatever, that the first War Machine that was made. Imagine that was released the same way as this Wonder Woman. That will fly off the shelves, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So we need it. But now you could readily get the War Machine, right? Can you get it now still? I haven't
Yeah,
checked.
you probably could.
Easy. It's
Easy.
on sale all the time. And it gives us the best of both worlds. We get to keep the non-pre-order. If you're not into this, right? You get to keep that. You still get to buy cheap figures, because the way you get cheap figures is because they overmake them. And I think they will continue to overmake them. These guys are spare parts. Let's be honest. This is the spare parts of all the Wonder Woman combined. That Batman the Batman is a repainted Batman. Those two Spider-Mans are probably just, different paint of suit. We're not, as a collector, you have the choice now to opt for them. Like if you want to, you still can get your cheap figures. They're going to continue to be cheap, but at the same time, you have the option of, hey, having a grail, maybe or not down the line. So
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
Yeah, and wide releases, they'll still do those, and I think that's great. They should give us both, and I think that everyone's going to be happy because you're going to please the crowd that wants a little more exclusivity, and you're also going to please the crowd who just want the figure. So, and that's why I think these time POs could be good because for one, it gets people to, but you got to give us something good. You can't be a hologram. It's got to be like another Darth Vader head sculpt, a second or a third one or something.
I agree.
Or something like that. Or maybe a different base. Like the base is like light up and it's different and you do it in the first week. It's got to be something substantial and valuable.
Yeah.
Like
and stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Don't give it to some of the resellers to have them buy it and resell it. So
well, guys, thanks for your thoughts on that one. Guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We got time for one more topic, and I think this is going to be another fun one. But yeah, I mean, I think the pre-order windows, I think it could be a good idea, so I would love to see more of it. But got to ask you guys the question. How do you decide when it's time to sell a figure? Because this is something I struggle with from time to time. I look at my collection and it's space or money that I need. And I'm just like, do I want to move on from this figure? And then sometimes I'll take it out of the display and I'll be like, I don't want to sell this figure. And then like 2 weeks later, I'll be like, do I want to sell this figure? Sometimes that'll happen, right? How do you really know? So Optical, with you, when you do sell a figure, how do you really make that determination that you feel pretty confident about?
Different ways. So one of them is anticipating there's going to be something better. That's one thing. Let's say you have a Vader right now, which is let's say the 40th anniversary. There's 2 Vaders out there in the corner.
Yeah,
it's coming. So you have the option to, because now you're upgrading, right? Like upgrade technically.
Right.
So now you have the option to wait until that comes out. Now you nerf really the price of your figure, or you get ahead of the curve. Well, you still could get a little value out of it. So that's one way, is to buy upgrading. Second way is space. So if you really do need space, sometimes even if the value is down, like you bought something, you look around, it's like, man, I have 2 options: put this on the floor or sell something. So now you got to decide. I'm gonna put a figure on the floor because I don't have a space, or I take a loss. So you look around, so you have 2 choices there. You look around, look at what's more valuable, the one that's going to give you the most money, or be the least favorite figure in your collection. So you can do both. Like in our PJ's case, we looked at Mark 46, somebody offering 800, I'm going to get the brown shipper. So so for me, I would say if it has I look around and be like, all right, I've had this figure for 4 years. Have I really moved it? How many times did I take a picture of it? Is it time to move on? Maybe, we're gonna be like, all right, am I gonna get equal, like what I paid for or more? Because mostly that's what you're gonna get. So now you look around, I see in my case at that time, the X13. I know Will loves that. So I took Terminator, love Terminator, but I haven't really posted him. That means I don't, just Terminator movie, you watch it every once in a while. So I was like, all right, how much am I gonna get for this? Now this is where the price comes in. You love the figure, but you need space. So now, all right, if you're gonna give me 300, I'm not gonna sell this. But if you're gonna give me 500, I'm gonna sell this because I need space and I need money. So it's not I got rid of it just for the sake of getting rid of it. If I want to get rid of something just for the sake of getting rid of something, I'll get, I don't know, what's her name from Black Widow, the one that I
Yelena.
I'll get Taskmaster. Here you go. Buy it for 140. Have fun. I'll do it for that. But if it's something that I like, you gotta offer me a lot. So that's how I guess, because we all cycle, unless you have infinite space or infinite money. So that's, I guess, my deciding factor. Like Will, I know you've been trading back, and God damn, you sold it for 270. It was 300 earlier.
Dude, no one was messaging me. So
oh my God, did you just get this figure too?
Yeah, I just got it like 3 or 4 months ago. Dude, so what happened, PJ, was this. I love the figure and I gave it a glowing review. However, my space was a lot less than I thought it. I probably have 4 or 5 less room for figures than I thought I did. So with that, I have Cad Bane coming in. Eventually, I'm going to have the DX Darth Vader coming in, and I want to kind of get a New Hope Obi-Wan again. I've been really searching for that one again. I really liked that figure. I sold it. Like you guys talk. Someone offered me $500 for it way back, and I was like, all right, and I just sold it. And I'm kind of looking for it again. But this Luke, I like Luke Skywalker, but I don't know if I love Luke Skywalker. So like that's why I sold it. So it's a great figure though.
Yeah, you shock me.
I know, bro. Yeah. But Optical, you're onto something though. I mean, it's I don't know. For me, it's the same way. DX13, dude. The only way I would sell that is, like you said, Optical, if I'm projecting that Hot Toys is going to make another Terminator. But I just don't know if that's coming anytime soon, but we'll see. Anyway, so PJ, what do you think, man? When is I know you are considering selling Lando for 140. So
Yeah.
when are you selling? When do you consider selling?
Well, so here's the thing. Obviously you guys know that I sold a good majority of my my Star Wars Hot Toys. I just think that when I just saw the amount of figures that was being released and just looking at my space, I just realized that like I just can't keep up. And not because of like financial issues, whatever. If anything, if it's finances, I just don't want to get my wife pissed off.
Right.
But if anything, it's a space. So I'm looking at like my room. I have a good majority of it is like quarter scale statues. I just don't have room for Hot Toys. Honestly, like it's to the point where I might have to kind of like get those like shelvings and just put Hot Toys there. That's how much room I have left for Hot Toys. So with that being said, yeah, number one thing is space. When you go and you look at your space and go, oh my gosh, I cannot complete that line or I can't get that bigger. That's when you realize that, okay, I got to sell some figures to make some room. Um, Also, when you kind of start like falling out of love for it. Like, you just don't like it as much as you used to. Like, there's one thing too, like we like everything, right? Like
Right.
we're nerds, we love everything, right? We love Superman, Spider-Man, all these things. And we like to collect all of them. And you think you can, but then when you get them, you realize like, shoot, I can't start this line. I can't start this Spider-Man line. I can't start this DC line. I can't start this Star Wars line just because of room space. I don't want to go into that hole. That's when you start realizing, okay, let me sell some of my figures. I mean, there's a lot of factors too. Or what Optical said, oh, there's going to be a newer version that is coming out, and you go, shoot, okay, I gotta buy that. Like I sold my Rogue
Right.
One Vader because I know the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader is coming out pretty soon. So I
Yep.
wanted that version of that Vader, right? I like that Vader over the Rogue One, even though the Rogue One scene was amazing, but I just like the look of that Vader. I know a lot of things that play into like selling your Hot Toys. But for me right now, the number one reason why I'm moving a lot of my figures is just because I can't keep up, and there's way too many figures being released. It's a good therapeutic thing for me. When I could just like not go into the line. Like I said, my OCD kicks in, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta complete this. Oh my god, I'm looking at the Kenobi like line. There's so many figures. There's the sisters, the brothers, the Riva. There's so many, and that's how many figures. You look at the what is that called? The Bad Batch. Oh my gosh, you just can't just buy one figure out of
Right.
that. You can't just get, oh, I'm gonna get Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm already kicking. I'm ready. Like I'm feeling my OCD kicking in right now by saying, oh, I only want to get Hunter. Like, no, you want to complete the team. So again, it's space. Obviously, there's way too many figures now. Um, you want to just make sure there's an upgrade. You want to get it, or if you see the value of your figure, it's really high, like the Mark 46. Man, I love that Mark 46, but man, when I saw it going for like 800, $900, let me get that brown shipper. Let me tape it up for you, nice and neat.
Yep.
I'll even put the plastics back on for you and the cushions in between the armor. I'll put all that for you and pack it up nicely. Like
Just no peanut butter, dude. That's the
there's
only
oh
thing.
my god, no peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, memories.
I know that was the old school
But
days,
yeah,
dude.
no, there's a lot of things. So yeah, those
Yeah.
are my reasons.
But I'm with you, man. I'm with both of you guys. For me, it's usually when I look at a figure and I'm like, okay, I'm projecting a new release, or I'm projecting space, or maybe I just don't love this character as much as I thought I did. And that's why over time you start to refine your taste and you figure out
Mhm.
what exactly is essential. So yeah, that's what I would say. And that's kind of what I did with this Luke. Um, so yeah, I mean, I love the figure. It's great, but it's just
Mhm.
Luke Skywalker. I really I'm a fan, but am I a super fan? I don't know. Like I like him, but he's not like,
Yeah, but
he's not
I
like a
think
tier one for me.
Yes, because then your focus starts like you're like, oh wait, I love this character, but then I love this other character more,
Right.
like Abby. You're like, oh,
Exactly, dude.
Prime One released this statue. All right,
More like
saving that.
Cad Bane, bro. Cad Bane. I'm so fucking excited for Cad
I
Bane.
still can't believe they made a Prime One.
Abby, I know,
Abby.
dude, and it's
Yeah.
400 edition size, which is crazy. Yeah,
I know, it should be
400
4,000.
people likes Abby.
dude, she's waitlisted. She's waitlisted somehow.
God
So,
damn, this
Yeah, I
400
told
people
you.
likes Abby.
I guess so, bro. I guess Ellie was like maybe a 700 or 1,000 edition. She's a 700, I think.
She's
So for
still
part 2, they haven't announced the part 1 price and edition size yet, but I'm assuming that one's going to be like 1,000 ES or something. But yeah, dude, Abby, I don't know, dude. Honestly, I like PJ. I liked Last of Us 2 a lot more the second time I played it. So
Well, you watched that scene
I
again.
watched that scene. Yeah, that's why. That's why I liked it.
like,
Yeah, dude.
like I remember the scene not this good.
Yeah, like this scene wasn't as good the
It
first
wasn't
time.
as good as I thought it was. What is going
Okay,
on?
what's
I'm gonna
going
collect
on
all
with this
female
scene?
figures now,
What's wrong with me?
dude. No fucking chill, dude. Yeah, that scene was much better the second time. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below when you decide to sell a Hot Toys figure or other 1/6 scale figure. Guys, that is our live stream. We are going to wrap it there, dude. Very exciting to have the Feet crew.
Oh yeah,
together. It was so much fun. And Optical, I think we're going to be streaming on your channel soon, right?
Soon, yeah, maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
whenever this goes out. So this
okay, soon as in maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, is there anything Optical on your channel that you want to talk about besides the stream tomorrow?
Yeah. No, not much. Well, thank you for inviting me to this live stream that's not live.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
This tape stream, but no, it's always fun to hang out with you guys. But yeah, again, thank you, man.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks for joining. I got to add PJ's little ticker on the bottom because he hasn't been on here in a while. So I got to make sure I,
I
do
haven't been
justice
on
for him.
YouTube in a while.
So, dude, PJ, what's coming up on the Paradox Nerd, Sithcast, all that good stuff?
All right, so I know I've been non-existent on my channel. I think some viewers are like, it's been 7 months, 8 months since you last put up a content. Honestly, I it's crazy though. I'm actually not a YouTube partner anymore. Can you believe it?
Really?
I forgot to sign the thing.
Oh my god, dude.
So like now I got to reapply to get monetized, but it's okay. Like I only need like 200 views or something like that.
You'll be fine.
But no, honestly though, like I've been kind of quiet, but honestly, I am revamping it pretty soon. So you should expect some content pretty soon. So yeah, Paradox Nerd and Sithcast is like where I'm usually mostly at right now. It's Sithcast podcast. It's on YouTube. Got some cool guests coming on. So yeah, if you love Star Wars, check both those channels out. So
cool.
Thanks again for having me on the stream, not stream recording.
The pre-recorded stream.
Pre-recorded stream. No, but it was a lot of fun and yeah. Cool topics, man. Very good topics.
Thanks, bro. Well, you guys did amazing. Next time, maybe we'll actually go live. So, and I'll post this for people who want to watch the full thing, and then I'll post clips for everyone who wants to watch those too. So,
yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys both for joining, guys. If you have any thoughts, let us know in the comments below. We talked about a lot of big picture stuff. I think we're going to do these pop-up streams every so often. If I can get these guys or whoever wants to join, we'll, do some big picture topics and any stuff that we can't get to on the other shows. And it'd be fun. We'll talk about, some fun shit. So we got to talk about some edgy stuff like we used to do back in the day on PJ's channel with Let's Talk. So,
oh my gosh.
Well, you guys, like I told you guys both. Yeah, Feet. Well, you guys are like the originators of, you were like the ones in first really doing live streaming consistently in 1/6. You know what I mean? Like, you guys like were definitely the ones. Because PJ, I remember I reached out to you originally to come on the show, and that's why you let me on there. And I was watching yours. I was like, dude, it's great. Like, I'd love to join sometime, and you were gracious enough to let me. So, dude,
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Honestly,
Yeah.
I kind of missed it because we were like. We just said whatever, we're just like,
we're
finding it
Optical comes up with a crazy, oh my gosh. Yeah. It's funny, like, Optical will come up with some crazy stuff, especially like, the hot dog and, all that good stuff. I have my feet that, feet things I'm in love with, you just been, it was a lot of fun, man. So glad that we got to get the gang back together again.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Well, guys, Optical. I don't know what Optical's doing. He's making me nervous. I was like, what is he gonna grab now? He's gonna grab a hot dog or something.
No, it's just like Yoda.
Oh, it's another Grogu. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Maybe next time we'll be live. Peace out. Bye. See you.